Who found patches? Casino gambling. Call the road.
Is it delayed? Okay. Big enough to got make it rude. No, no, no. That's what I was just pointing out. How's that haircut? You like this? Well, I think it was at the Rex Ryan here that, yeah, I kicked him out of our seat in the front row. I couldn't believe I did that. But when I watched it later, so we had to make those comments and we were good. Everyone's in the city, and so I was like, really? Huh. What we can do about that? How are you? Get an estimate from somebody. This one.
All right, and let's get started. Welcome to tourism. We've got a one bill calendar today, and so we will get ready to get started on it. Ms. Clerk, if you would call the roll, please.
Senator Albritton?
Here.
Senator Beasley? Senator Bell? Senator Elliott? Senator Gudger? Senator Jones? Senator Livingston? Senator Price? Senator Sessions? Senator Singleton? Senator Smitherman? Senator Stewart?
Okay, thank you. To start with, we have a public hearing that has been called on this bill, and so where everybody understands and where the direction we'll be going in as far as the committee, I have asked the senator, the sponsor of the bill, to open us up with a statement. Then we have, 2 and 2, is that correct? Then we will do the public hearing part. You will be limited to 3 minutes, and at 3 minutes, when the buzzer goes off, don't let me embarrass you. We've got a tight schedule today. So anyway, we'll do that, and then we'll be voting at the end. At this time, Senator, I call on you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, committee, for hearing this bill at this late date. This is a constitutional amendment for Greene County. This bill is virtue here by Rule 50, that this is a local bill, and that under Rule 50, this bill has to go through local legislation, LL1, and then come to tourism. So now we're at the state of tourism. This bill basically opens up the Constitutional Amendment from 1973 that was then revised back in 86 and then again in 92 on the Racing Parimutuel for Greene County. The Greene County Commission Raising Commission asked me to bring this bill, and all it does is some housekeeping things to upgrade that statute, add in historical horse racing, give some definitions there. It basically sets what the taxes and who would do the taxes. This bill also sets up for distribution of those dollars, where those dollars will go to schools, to different entities inside the county, and we're making sure that it also sets out as to whether or not there could be one or more operating tracks in the county, And Mr. Chairman, that basically what the bill does overall, and I can go more in depth, if any member asks a question.
Okay, thank you, sir. Appreciate that. This time, I'm going to ask the clerk. We'll rotate back and forth, and we have a total of 4 signed up, 2 on each side. And clerk, if you'll call the first.
If I must say this also.
Yes, sir.
This bill has nothing to do with bingo in the county, absolutely at all. This is a total different constitutional amendment.
Thank you for clarifying that, because I've had quite a few questions concerning that. So, go ahead, Senator.
Senator, this would be for Green Track?
This Green Track is for the Greene County Raising Commission. That's at that facility, yes.
They're under them. Okay.
Yes.
Clerk, go ahead and we'll get started.
Proponent Drusilla Jackson.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes.
Welcome.
Thank you. I basically am in agreement with Senator Singleton with this bill, but the bill that I came to ask you about, and I know that I'm out of order, is with the 404 bill where dealing with the midwives. And this bill needs to be coming back to the floor because we're in a rural area and we need this bill. We do not have a hospital within 50 miles to deliver babies. Thank you.
Ms. Jackson, thank you. That bill has been sent to health, the way I understand. Okay? All right, go ahead.
Opponent Eric Johnston.
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, Eric Johnston. I'm speaking against this bill. I'm a lawyer, and for over 30 years, I've worked in the State House and in the courts to oppose gambling expansion in Alabama. As you know, the bingo bills that were passed as amendments back in the 80s morphed into slot machines, and it took years of litigation and 12 Alabama Supreme Court cases to say that that was slot machine gambling that was prohibited. This bill is a similar bill. It is a very dangerous bill. I don't have a problem with Greene County raising revenue. Most of the pages relate to that, but if you will look with me on page 2, let me point out the problems with this bill. It says, for purposes of this amendment, pari-mutuel wagering on historical horse racing computerized machines may be conducted without regard to the following. 1, the type of graphics on the machine. In other words, it is a computer machine that will be doing some kinds of presentations of horse racing or dog racing, pari-mutuel. Number 2, whether the patron chooses a specific horse upon which to wager. In other words, he didn't even have to choose a horse. He can just play the machine, apparently. And then number 3, whether he watches all or part of the historical race. There is no skill involved in that. I was involved in the litigation when the pari-mutuel laws were passed. I represented the people who opposed that. The Alabama Supreme Court ruled that pari-mutuel had skill involved and was therefore not a game of chance in violation of the anti-lottery provision of the Alabama Constitution. This definition, the way this is worded, removes every bit of the requirement of skill. When pari-mutuel wagering was passed, we had horses, real horses, racing on dirt tracks in Birmingham. This represents a whole new paradigm of how it would be, and we will end up with litigation over it. And remember, the last thing, this is a CA. If you pass it, if it becomes law, there's no contest to it. Then Greene County will have basically unlimited gambling on computerized machines, which they call pari-mutuel wagering. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and thanks for your comment. So, go ahead.
Stephanie Smith with API.
Welcome.
Thank you. I won't belabor the point because many of my comments will echo what Eric Johnston just said, but I rise in opposition to this bill, not because it specifically is in regard to Greene County, but the fact that it actually expands the definition of pari-mutuel wagering. So again, just as Eric very adeptly described on page 2, part 1, section B, is my main concern over this piece of legislation. The change in definition in regards to parimutuel betting within the CA is what we would have a problem with. So, thank you.
Thank you for coming today. Okay, that's everybody. At this time, Senator Singleton, I turn it back over to you.
And Mr. Chairman, if you would look on the desk, we passed out Attorney General's opinion about these machines, so whether or not they believe that these machines were legal or not. So you have Attorney General's opinion here that goes back to Attorney General Pryor, even prior to that. And also this Attorney General has also stated that as long as these machines, they would test these machines to make sure these machines are legal. So you have it right here before you that the Attorney General is not against these machines here in the state of Alabama, has deemed them to be legal.
All right. That concludes as far as the public hearing, and we go from there. I have a motion. Second from Senator Livingston. All right, any other comments?
If I might make one comment, Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir, go ahead.
I'm not going to fight or stand in the way. I'm going to get this out of committee for you. I will have some statements when we get to the floor.
Thank you, sir. You're consistent.
Okay, with that saying, clerk, if you would call the roll, please.
Senator Albritton. Senator Beasley. Senator Bell. Senator Elliott. Senator Gudger. Senator Livingston. Senator Price.
Aye.
Senator Sessions. Senator Singleton.
Aye.
Senator Smitherman.
Aye.
Senator Stewart.
Aye.
All right, 12-0, the bill receives a favorable report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and committee.
Yes, sir, thank you, and we adjourn.
Mr. Chair, can I make one comment along?
Yes, sir.
Sure would be nice if we could get that same vote on a greater type of gambling bill.
Hey, Mr. Chairman. Move favor. I'm talking about Mr. Budget Chair. Move favor report. That's all you got to do, baby. Bring it on. Bring it on. That's all I would say.
Oh, on this? My dog's not in that fight. You know where my dog is. So number 40, are you?